Hi everybody, I'm Solomon, the Arkansas Diamond Miner. I wanted to show you another video real quick. I'm out here gathering up a bunch of this gravel since the park is opened back up. And I wanted to kind of show you, I guess this will kind of be a third part to the gravel farming. I'm going to kind of improve this furrow a little bit. It's still set up where it'll channel a bunch of water through, mainly through this one right here. And a little bit kind of broke off the side through one of these other furrows up on the right, but I guess it'd be your left. Anyhow, so I'm going to go through, once I get all the gravel out of the way and stuff, I'm going to go through and kind of throw some big rocks in there and maybe dig some dips into the bottom of that furrow, and then I'm going to shovel some of the sides in. And there's still supposed to be like 2 more days of rain down here. It rained a little bit early this morning and now it's kind of cleared up, still a little bit windy, so I hope you can hear me, but a couple more days of forecast rain, and if we do get the rain they're forecasting, we should have some more pretty good gravel to come out of this furrow. So I'm going to finish getting this gravel cleaned out of it and I'm going to load it back up. Alright, just kind of want to show you guys an example of what I'm trying to come up with down here. There's a real good example of the kind of gravel that you can get out of these furrows when you put some obstructions. This big old chunk of lamprite kind of acts like a trap. So all that gravel had kind of built up in a depression right behind that. And that's kind of what you want to recreate with some of the bigger rocks. If you can throw some bigger rocks in them furrows, or you can cut some dips into the bottom. There was a pretty good chunk right there below my tripod that I dug out. So that's what I'm going to do once I get this cleaned out, is go through and kind of recreate some of these dips and chunks of rock. But I wanted to show you that gravel that was right there behind that. That's a real good illustration of the stuff you want to try and get. Alright, so got all the gravel out of this furrow that I wanted. Got quite a few buckets out of it. So now I'm going to go through and throw some bigger rocks in and throw a bunch more material into this furrow. We're supposed to get some rain. I think we're forecast to have rain for the next 3 days. Up to an inch to 1.25 inches each day. Of course the wind starts blowing as soon as I start recording. So I'm going to go through, throw some big rocks in, shovel some of the material in, kind of get some more stuff in there to get washed for free. Alright, so you can see I've done a little bit of damage on that thing. Knocked those sides in a little bit, give it a little bit more gravel to get concentrated. Threw some big old rocks in there, hopefully that'll help it churn up a little bit. If I really wanted to get serious with it, I'd kind of zigzag that one little ditch right back and forth. That tends to help a little bit. We're really not quite down onto the hard pan up there. We are down here lower, so I'm going to throw a little bit more on this. There's not quite as much gravel mixed into the soil right here. There's also a couple other furrows that I'm probably going to do this to that look like they've got quite a bit of water cutting through them. So I'm going to knock some sides in on them. That may give me some gravel after a couple more rains if I'm still down here. So anyhow, so this is just one more thing you can do to create yourself a little bit more gravel if you're going to be here for very long. You know, if you're going to be here for a week and you know it's going to rain, you can find a furrow that's already got a lot of water running through it. Even if it's been cleaned out, you can still scoop some of that stuff off the sides down into it and kind of create yourself a little bit more gravel out of that furrow. You just have to remember which one you did it in. Throwing them big rocks in there will kind of help churn that water up a little bit, free up some more of that silt. Alright everybody, it's the morning after. So yesterday I went through a bunch of big old chunk rocks in this. I punched a couple extra holes in this little bit of hard pan right here, and went through and shoveled a bunch of material off the sides of the furrow down into this little ditch right here. So I knew there was a lot of rain coming, and we did get quite a bit of rain, so this is kind of reloaded with gravel. So I'm going to grab the camera there. We'll walk through and kind of give you a look at what it turned out like. Alright, so this is the very bottom of the furrow here. You see a lot of this silt has kind of washed down it. So when you start getting to these little crevices, you can see this is one of the holes, and it's completely refilled with gravel right there. And as you walk on up, it all looks flat now, but there's lots of little holes in this, in the very bottom, that'll help trap up a lot of that gravel. You can see where we started throwing some of these rocks in there. There's gravel behind a couple of them. That's a lot of good gravel right there. When you scoop this material out, if you pick those rocks out, either clean off the back sides or just go ahead and throw it in your bucket, and make sure you get everything that might be stuck to those rocks off of it. But we had a pretty good rain, so we did get a lot of water rushing down through this, and you can see the sides of the furrows already have more gravel built up on them. So as you're coming through and scooping this stuff out, that's a lot of easy stuff to get to. So there was one big hole right there, and you can see that was a pretty good sized rock. See right behind it how it kind of washed that gravel in behind there, concentrated a little bit. And as you go all the way up, every one of these little rocks hopefully helped stir that stuff just a little bit better. I had to kind of mound that back up to channel that water in through there. But on both sides of this, you see all this gravel I threw in right here. Some of it didn't quite get all the way broke down up here. Then on this side I did a few over here. You see it's pretty good stuff right there. If we were to get another couple of good rains, this stuff would be so concentrated it would almost, it'd be so easy to wash. Definitely worth the time to come out and get it. Today I am probably going to spend some time with a veteran miner. If you can gain some information from them, that's one of the things about coming down here. You can learn a whole lot from the people that know what they're doing. If they're willing to spend the time with you, learning from people that have higher diamond counts is always a good thing. You can see how there's not a whole lot of gravel built up, but a lot of silt right here, but it still collected all that water. And then you get back here to where it zigzags. Piled up some gravel there. It kind of overran that little bank there, but still got a lot of water out of that.
Excuse me, you don't do a YouTube?
Alright, so hopefully if you're down here for a few days of vacation and there's a lot of rain forecast, if it's raining when you get here, you can get out here and channel some of these furrows together. Even if there's not a whole lot of gravel when you get here, you can kind of make some of your own gravel just by doing this. I'm not sure how many buckets full of gravel this would create. It kind of depends on how much rain you get or how long it's been here, maybe even how you do it, how many furrows you channel together, part of the field that you do it on. There's a lot of different variables in it, but this can help add to the stuff that you've got to wash in a day. So if you haven't seen the other videos similar to this, there's at least 2 other videos if I'm not mistaken. By the time I'll get this one up and produced, there should already be 2 other ones out, a part 1 and a part 2, so I guess this will be a part 3, and I'll put them in a playlist and put some links to it up here in one of the corners of the screen. So anyhow, thank you for watching, and I hope you find this helpful.